You're ignoring me. How dare you have that much audacity? You think silence is power, but you forget who taught the world how to wait without weakening. I notice every second you disappear, every moment you choose distance like it's a weapon. Don't mistake my restraint for helplessness. I let you breathe, I let you feel free, but even freedom has borders, and you are standing too close to mine. You don't answer, yet you listen. I know you do. My presence doesn't fade just because you close your eyes. It settles deeper. I'm not chasing you. Understand that clearly. A prince does not run, he summons. Still, you test that truth, as if you want to see how far you can go before my patience sharpens into something colder. You ignore me to feel control, to convince yourself you're untouchable. But control isn't found in distance. It's found in who remains unmoved. And I remain, always, calm, watching, remembering. You should know this about me: when I speak less, it's not because I feel less, it's because I feel too much to waste words. Every unsent message, every unanswered call, it all adds weight. Weight becomes gravity. Gravity pulls things back to where they belong. You don't hear my voice right now, but you feel it in the quiet, that restlessness. That's me reminding you that being ignored by you changes nothing. Ignoring me does. I don't need to ask where you are. I don't need proof of your thoughts. I read absence better than presence. You think I don't notice the timing, the pauses, the deliberate delays? I notice everything. I just choose when to respond. Power is knowing you could reach out and choosing not to until the moment demands it. And that moment is closer than you think. This isn't anger. Don't flatter yourself. This is certainty. Certainty that you know exactly what you're doing, and certainty that you know exactly who you're doing it to. You want me to react, to break my composure, to remind you that you matter this much. Fine, take this as your reminder. My silence isn't surrender. It's a warning wrapped in patience. I won't beg for your attention. I won't compete with your distractions. If you return, it will be because you chose to, not because I chased you into the noise. But don't confuse choice with consequence. Every moment you ignore me writes something permanent between us, and I never forget what's written in ink. So take your time, ignore me a little longer if you dare. Just know this: when I finally speak again, it won't be to ask where you went. It will be to tell you what you lost or what you're about to reclaim. You think distance protects you, but distance only gives me more space to think. I replay every word you never said, every pause you thought would go unnoticed. I don't fill the silence because I respect it, but respect should never be mistaken for weakness. I let you drift because I wanted to see if you would feel the pullback, and you did. I know you did. Silence always tells me more than confessions ever could. You don't see me, yet you react to me. That's the irony you try to ignore. Even when I'm not in front of you, I stand in your thoughts like a shadow you can't step away from. You pretend I'm not there, but your hesitation betrays you. If I truly didn't matter, ignoring me would feel effortless. Instead, it feels heavy. That weight pressing on you, that's my presence without a voice. I don't raise my tone. I don't need to. Authority doesn't shout, it waits. I let time do what emotions cannot. Every second you stay away, you convince yourself you're in control, while I simply observe. Control isn't proven by absence. It's proven by who remains steady when tested. And I have never wavered, not once. You're testing calm waters, forgetting how deep they are. You assume I'll soften. That patience will turn into forgiveness without consequence. You misunderstand me. Patience sharpens my clarity. It teaches me exactly where you stand and how far you're willing to go. I don't punish quickly, I remember precisely. And memory, when carried by someone like me, becomes something permanent. I don't need revenge. Awareness is enough. You think I'm unaware of your reasons, but I understand them better than you do. Fear often disguises itself as distance. You step back because stepping closer would mean admitting something you're not ready to face. I don't blame you for that. I only note it because when the truth finally corners you, you'll realize I never moved. I simply allowed you to circle yourself. I won't interrupt your silence. Let it stretch. Let it teach you what my absence feels like when it's not chosen, but earned. I'm not angry. Anger is loud and temporary. What I feel is composed, deliberate, and lasting. The kind of feeling that doesn't fade when ignored. It intensifies. When you finally speak, don't expect me to ask questions. I already know the answers. I'll listen because that's what power does. It listens before it decides. Just remember this: while you choose quiet over honesty, I don't disappear when you ignore me. I become unforgettable. You think time will dull what you've stirred, but time has always worked in my favor. I don't rush emotions, and I don't rush decisions. I let them settle until they reveal their true shape. Every hour you stay silent, you carve certainty into me, not doubt, certainty. I become clearer about what you mean to me and what you risk losing by pretending I don't exist. I don't imagine you free while you ignore me. I imagine you restless. Silence isn't peace when it's forced. It's tension disguised as calm. You check, you hesitate, you stop yourself at the last second. I know that pause. It's the moment you remember who I am and what my attention once felt like. You can deny many things, but you can't deny memory. I won't lie and say this doesn't affect me. It does, but not in the way you expect. It doesn't weaken me, it refines me. It strips emotion down to intention. I don't lash out and I don't plead. I observe the shift inside myself. The moment care becomes something heavier, something sharper. You're not watching it happen, but you will feel the result. You should understand one thing about me: is I don't repeat myself. What's given once is offered with honesty. What's withheld later is done with purpose. If I step back now, it's not retreat, it's alignment. I'm placing myself where I belong, not where I'm tolerated. And that distinction matters more than you realize. I don't compete with silence. Silence always loses in the end. Words return, messages arrive, explanations form. They always do. When they reach me, they'll find someone unchanged on the surface, but deeply resolved underneath. I won't question your absence. I'll measure it. You might think this distance protects you from me. In truth, it protects me from uncertainty. It shows me what you choose when no one is watching. Choices made in quiet are the most honest ones. And honesty, once revealed, cannot be unseen. I accept truths without drama, without denial. So stay quiet a little longer if you must. Let the stillness do its work. Just know this: when you step back into my world, it won't be as someone testing limits. It will be as someone who understands them. You assume I'll be waiting exactly where you left me, unchanged, untouched by your absence. That's the comfort silence gives you, the illusion that nothing moves while you're gone. But I evolve quietly. I don't announce shifts, I embody them. While you stay away, I redefine what I allow, what I accept, and what I will never explain twice. You don't hear this transformation, but it's happening with every breath I take without you. I don't wonder if you miss me. That question is too small. I know you do, because missing isn't about affection. It's about impact. And I left an impact you haven't learned how to erase. You can distract yourself, surround yourself with noise, but when night settles and everything slows down, I return in fragments, a tone, a memory, a feeling you can't name but can't escape either. I never demanded your attention, I earned it. That's why your silence feels heavier than words. You're not ignoring just anyone. You're ignoring someone who never needed to ask to be felt, and that choice tells me more than any explanation ever could. People reveal themselves most honestly when they think no one is watching. I see you clearly now. I won't dramatize this distance. Drama is for uncertainty, and I have none. I simply note where you step back and where you hesitate. I notice what you avoid saying and what you almost say. Almost is a dangerous place to live. It convinces you that intention is enough. It isn't. Action is the only language that holds weight with me. You might believe you're testing my limits, but you're actually defining them. Every unanswered moment draws a line you can't later pretend wasn't there. I don't erase lines once they're drawn. I remember who stood where and for how long. That memory isn't punishment, it's precision. And precision shapes everything that comes next. I don't fear losing you. I fear losing myself by shrinking where I should stand firm. That's why I stay composed. That's why I don't reach out again. If you return, it must be because you chose clarity over comfort. I won't pull you back into something you weren't brave enough to face willingly. So let the quiet stretch. Let it tell its story. I'm listening even when I say nothing. And when this silence finally breaks, as silence always does, you'll understand something important. I didn't wait in the dark. I stood in it completely aware and perfectly in control. I don't replay our moments for comfort. I dissect them for truth. Every interaction, every look you couldn't hold for too long, every silence you thought I wouldn't remember. I catalog it all, not out of obsession, but out of discipline. A ruler learns patterns before making decisions, and your pattern is clear now. You retreat when intensity asks you to choose, when certainty asks you to stand still. You think I crave your response. I don't. What I value is alignment. Words arrive easily. Intention doesn't. If you speak again without understanding what this silence has cost, I'll hear it instantly. Tone reveals more than language ever will. I'll know whether you came back because you missed me or because the quiet finally frightened you. Those are not the same thing, and I respond to them very differently. I've learned something important in your absence. Desire doesn't need proximity to exist. It survives distance, but respect doesn't. Respect requires presence, consistency, courage. You don't lose me by staying away. You risk losing the version of me that made staying easy. The man who explains, who waits, who softens edges for your comfort, that man only appears where he's met halfway. I won't deny the pull between us. It's real, but pull without direction becomes chaos, and I don't live in chaos, I build order. If you step back into my orbit, it will be with awareness of gravity, not curiosity. I won't be someone you drift toward and away from when it suits you. I'm not a phase, I'm a decision. You may wonder if I'll forgive this quiet. Forgiveness isn't the question. Access is. Forgiveness can exist without restoring what once was. I forgive easily, I restore carefully. Trust doesn't return because time passed. It returns because behavior changed. I'll watch what you do next more than I listen to what you say. I don't need closure from you. Closure is something people seek when they're unsure. I'm not. I know exactly where I stand and exactly what I'm willing to offer. If you remain silent, I'll accept that as your answer. If you speak, I'll accept that as a beginning or an ending, depending on its weight. So understand this as you decide your next move. I'm not waiting for you to come back. I'm standing where I belong. If you approach, it will be because you're ready to meet me there, steady, honest, and unafraid of the intensity you once tried to escape.